was going through my bags, and I just found this in one of my bags from like middle school. All right. That scared me. It was my water bottle. I can read. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a video of where I talk about the books that I read in January of 2026. I read, technically, 11 books in January, but 5 of them were Penguin Modern Classics, which are only 50 pages each. So maybe all 5 of those I just count as one, but I'm gonna make a separate video on those, so I'm not gonna talk about them. 2 of them I read as audiobooks, but 4 I read during a power outage because of the hashtag winter storm. Huzzah, huzzah! I read 4 books during the outage, and then I started another, but I never finished it, and I just stopped reading it. And that was the King in Yellow, which I will continue to read, but I just wasn't feeling it. After the outage, I was like, I've gone mad enough. I didn't have power for 5 days. The first book that I read during the power outage was Kiki's Delivery Service by Aiko Kadono. It was translated for the first time. Oh, this is from 2021. But it is so cute. I love Kiki's Delivery Service, the movie, Hayao Miyazaki. I used to watch it every day as a kid for like maybe a year. It was my favorite movie. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's so freaking cute. It's so cute. It's so beautiful. It made me crave love and community and happiness. I think all of the characters are still there, and there are some characters that aren't in the movie. Like there's this girl that Kiki becomes friends with, and it's just so cute. It's really good. I would suggest you read it. Please, please, please. You should read it. This is 5 stars for sure. I love this book. After I read Kiki's Delivery Service, you know, I'm trying to do the Shane Top method. The Shane Top Smosh method, where I change genres for every book. So after that beautiful heartwarming story, I read The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. It was really well written, and it was very profound, but it was so sad and also really gross. And I know that's the point. Like, I'm not saying it shouldn't have been gross. I'm like, why is it? But it's about these 3 girls. There's these 2 sisters, and then the girl that they foster. And this girl, her name's Piccola, and she wants to have blue eyes because it's set during the 60s, and these are all black girls, and they are faced with just psychological and physical torture by everyone in their life, pretty much. It's awful. It's really sad. And Piccola especially, she's like alienated. It talks a lot about like ugliness and how like these girls were raised to believe that they're ugly, especially Piccola. She she has darker skin, and they're saying like she was meant to be ugly. She lived ugly. She was supposed to be ugly. She has like as if it was fate, and that because she's ugly she deserves to be poor and be abused. And it's really upsetting. I had a couple nightmares after reading this. So I give that 4 stars because the writing is superb. It's Toni Morrison, obviously. I had read Recitative, a short story by Toni Morrison, for in one of my classes, and that was really good. I wrote an essay on that for the class, and I just really like her writing, and I will definitely be reading more books by her. Probably after I get I read a couple happy stories after this, but I think it's really important, and I think I should read her Beloved series because I hear that one's really beloved. But I just don't think I can handle it right now. This one kind of messed me up just a tad. The third one I read is Pride and Prejudice. Yes, but of course. Let me just say something, because I'm a bit of a fake fan. I fully have, where is it? This is my purse. Oh, upside down. This is my purse. Yeah, that's gonna be Pride and Prejudice. And did I finish Pride and Prejudice when I got this purse, like 2 or 3 years ago?
Nope.
No. But did I watch the movie? Yes, 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 yes. Now that I've read the book, I'm glad I got the bag because it's really good. The first time I tried to read it, I think I was in 9th grade, something like that, and I was just getting into reading classics around 8th, 9th grade. And so I wasn't really used to the writing styles. I wasn't used to how long the sentences were, so it was really difficult for me. But now, like in the past couple of years, I've gotten better at it. I think my breaking point was reading Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky. That book took me like 6 months, and I just need to say something. I saw a YouTube short of someone saying that Notes from Underground is a good, quick classic read. Good, quick classic that you can read in a day. A day. I mean, I guess, but if I tried to read that in a day, I would not understand a single thing. Pride and Prejudice, love, 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 love. This edition especially, I got it's not here, it's not at my house, it's at my dorm. I have a set of all of Jane Austen's works, and they're so beautiful. The Wordsworth classics. And they're so beautiful, and they're very floppy, good for reading. And they're also illustrated. Let me find an illustration. Here's Mr. Collins. Focus. 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 Whatever, man. I don't even care. I got through this in like maybe 2 months. But I really read the majority of it, let's see, in like 2 days because of the outage. Like I read these 2 books in the same day. I wish I would have swapped the order, because I feel like this would have been good to read right after this one. It's like when you watch a horror movie and then like you watch like Moomins after. Like I need something to calm my nerves. It is that good. It takes a little while. I'm a fool. I just remembered what I was talking about with Notes from Underground. After reading that book, something like switched in my head, and I was like, wait, I can read old books. Wow. So this one was a lot easier to understand a couple years later, and I think that's a good lesson to learn. Like, if you read a book a couple years ago and you're like, it's too hard, I don't want to read it. If you come back to it, it's really satisfying to be able to read something that you thought was impossible before, because really, I was very impressed with myself. I'm like, am I smart or something? And I know there's gonna be people in the comments that was like, I read Pride and Prejudice easily. It's not a hard book. Keep that to yourself. The fourth book that I read. This book freaking sucked butt cheeks. And I'm sorry. 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 I'm hiding. I'm literally hiding. I'm scared. If you don't know, this book has a very, very popular movie. And, if I'm honest, I don't think I finished the movie. Not because it wasn't good. I think something just happened. And you know me. Maybe you don't, but you know who I am. Once I forget about something, it's gone. And so I never finished it, but I found this book at the thrift store, and I was like, this is 50 cents, and I know this movie, so I'm gonna get it. And I read it. With great chagrin, I read it. And dare I say, this sucked booty and butt. So it's not like the movie. The movie changes a lot of the plot. In the book, the two daughters, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you've seen the movie, it's about these two sisters. I think one of them, Sally, has her kids, but if she does, they're young. In this book, the kids are grown up. She has two daughters. One's 13 and one's 16, I think, at this point. And I didn't mind that. The first half I thought was okay, but there's something with this writer's style that grinds my gears. Every single sentence is like 5 lists. There's probably not a single paragraph where I'll give you one of the paragraphs just off the dome. This is what they all sound like. She took a dump, and she thought of her daughter walking to school, and her husband going to work, and her sister having fun playing in the yard as they were children. It was the greatest dump ever took since 1884, when their great-grandmother first fell in love with her husband after she took a similar dump. And the Owens women were always the most beautiful, and they always took the cleanest, most beautiful, and most pleasurable dumps. Like, nothing can just be like, she had a bad day. It was always, this was the worst day ever seen in the entire history of the world. I'll read something to you. The girls are both shivering now, and the sky is black. You'd think it was midnight. You'd think it was impossible for the heavens to have ever been blue, like ink, or robin's eggs, like the ribbons girls thread through their hair for luck. To Kylie, these trees are comforting and familiar, but to anyone accustomed to the desert, to a man who's used to seeing for miles past the saguaro in the purple dusk, these maples can seem like a mirage, rising above the green field from out of the heat waves in the rich, dark soil. If you've grown up close to the desert, you can easily chart a storm by the location of the lightning. You know how long you have before you'd better call in your dog, and see to your horse, and get yourself under a safe, grounded roof. What spurred this description was just the mention of tall maple trees. She explained the background of the trees. There's lightning, there's so much lightning in this book. This one guy gets struck by lightning, and then his grandson gets struck by lightning, but the grandpa got struck by lightning, and his eyebrows fell off, and he raised his grandson, whose parents died of alcoholism. And, for some reason, I think he was going to go to the foster care system, and so that grandpa walked into the courthouse every day for a year to get custody of his grandkid. Why? It's always so dramatic. Why does it have to be every single day for a year? Why is it so specific? Also, I don't think that's how that works. I don't mean to be rude, but I feel like if you're the next person to get, custody of the kid, you don't really have to ask every day. Like, I feel like if they say no the first 99 times, why would they say yes the 100th time? I just don't understand. There's also a part where the love interest for Sally, who's in the movie, Gary, which is very uncomfortable for me, as I think maybe 15 people in my family have that name, is talking to him, and they're making out. And I don't even know where they were making out. I don't think I picked up on where they were. I think they were in a car. I can't remember. I know he was eating chicken. Okay, and he's talking about how he wants to bang her. Pardon my French. And she's like, no, I'm gonna go back to my daughters because I just perhaps confessed to murder. At this moment, Gary wishes he could grab her and force her, at least until she gave in, to get out of the car. He'd like to make love to her right here. He'd like to do it all night and not give a damn about anything else. And not listen if she told him no. But he's not that kind of man. Oh, don't worry, guys. And he never will be. He's seen too many lives go wrong when a man allows himself to be led around by his... Right. Gary has always understood why people give in and do as they please with no thought of anyone else. Their minds shut off, and he's not going to do that, even if it means he won't get what he really wants. There's also not a lot of magic in this book, despite the title. The real magic is the apparent curse where every woman in this book falls in love with a man in 5 seconds flat, and if they don't, it's because there's no men around them. You'd think a house full of women, it would be a story about, like, womanhood and sisterhood and motherhood and family and chosen no, because it's all surrounding, like, who's dating who. The way that they describe love, it's like a literal drug where they can't do anything else but be in love with that person and kiss that person and be with that person. And I just don't think that's realistic. I think that's really dramatic, and I don't understand it, and I don't like it. So, yeah, that's gonna be 2 stars. I don't even want to look at it. If I wasn't literally trapped in my house in 20-degree weather with no internet and no power, I would not have finished this book. But I did. So, who cares? Not me. The 5th book I read is The Little Prince. Ooh, I don't have a physical copy. I read it in ebook. I wanted to read another kid's book because I was like, I loved Kiki's Delivery Service and I did not like Practical Magic, so I need something different. I can't really say much. It's really good. It was like 100 pages maybe. It's a kid's book. The illustrations were so cute. It made me sad. It's a really beautiful story. I think, in those TikToks where it's like you only have a certain amount of words above your head, and it's like you have 200 words, and they're like, I will never forget you.
But it was not your fault but mine, and it was your heart on the line. I really fucked it up this time, didn't I, my dear?
And they're like, stop, you're using all of your words. And they're like, I don't care, I have to tell you I love you, and then they run out of words and then they die. That's what I feel like I did with Practical Magic. I used up all my words and now I can't talk about anything else. But yeah, The Little Prince was so cute. It is about, you guessed it, a prince. And he's little. He's quite small. And it's about this pilot who is the author. The author was a pilot, and I think it was published after he died. Either after he died or a little before. And he died in 1944, I think. There's a lot of, talk about, grown-ups and growing up and like losing your imagination and losing your childhood wonder. And I just thought it was really, really sweet. So, the final book that I read in January is Ladies' Night by, wait, like it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I thought this book was really cute. It's a medieval, like, historical rom-com between a lady knight and a noble lady. And she, basically the plot, it's like A Knight's Tale. There's, like, this jousting tournament, and the noble gal, Isabel, is, like, whoever wins gets to marry her, and she's like, this is bad because I want to be in charge of who I get married to, and also I'm low-key gay. And so she gets the help of Gwen, who is the blacksmith's daughter, but she's also a blacksmith herself who does the work for her father, who's been super depressed because her mom #died, happens. And so they're training. There's a lot of like montage moments. The narrator is super funny. It gives off like Princess Bride vibes, the narration. It's not trying to be historically accurate. They go to a bar and they have like ye old cocktails, but it's spelled like COQUETAYLES, like cocktails for the lady. And they also get like t-shirts. They're like someone made tournament shirts with memes on it, like don't let a man do a woman's job, and it's shown to t-shirts, and I'm like, don't make me mad right now, dude. Girl, it's very like girl power, it's very girl boss, which I didn't think was, I mean, it says it on the thing. It's like it's a feminist retelling, which I love. I just thought it was kind of goofy at points. Like there are moments when they'll reiterate like we're doing something that's never been done before because we're women and we're doing stuff that men do. And I'm like, awesome! I like this. And I like it when the girls kiss. But, you know, they just say it a lot. They reiterate it. And the first times I was like, awesome! Yes! Kill them all! But the second, you know, once it's the 300th page, I'm kind of like, I know. I understand. I get it. I also there's something that the writers, because there's two of them, the writers do where there's kind of a lot of sometimes there's a lot of like telling instead of showing. It's all stuff like she smiled because she was happy. Yeah, girl, I mean, that makes sense. I feel like I could have figured it out if you just said she smiled, but I'm glad you gave me the explanation. Like there's a lot of explaining things when they don't have to. There's a lot of like maybe like redundant explanations. But once it got to the last like third of the book, it really started building up. And maybe that's because I was listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook is really good because the voice actor is doing like a Cockney accent for Gwen. It's like, it's alright. We'll do whatever we have to. I don't think that's Cockney, but... And then for Isabel, she's like, well, yes, but I never did think that you... Oh, goodness my. It's really funny because it'll be like, genuine, it's like romantic scenes. Like, it's getting steamy, dude. And it's like, yeah, well, I'd fight for you till the ends of the earth. Like, I really would. I'd do whatever you want. And then she's like, really? Oh, I do thank you.
None left over for words. You and me. We'll do something about it. Gwen must have moved after all, because Isabel answered her summons. Olivia will tell us in the morning where they're being held and on what grounds.
Right. I thought it was really cute. There's a scene where she's helping her cover your ears. But she helps her undress cuz she's rich. Isabel's rich and she doesn't have a lady's maid with her. Scandalous. It was very cute. They're very cute. I like them. I think that's, yeah, I'll give that 4 4 stars, because the middle was really hard to get through, but it was really good. I think it's really kicked off my medieval sort of phase. I think I'm gonna try and read a lot more books about the medieval era. Specifically, I would prefer if it was more about gay knights, but I understand that that's hard to, do. But if anyone has any recommendations for gay knights, please, please, please. Okay.
Ow! I be on my suit and tie.
Yeah, I be on my suit and tie.